It is January 8th, 2026, and we got some severe weather to talk about, so let's jump straight into it. So currently what's happening right now is that we have a pretty large storm over here. We have a line of storms moving through this area. Some little spin-up tornadoes are going to be a possibility. This is going to be the severe part of the storm. Right here is the severe part of the storm. This is going to be moving this way. And then we have the top part of the storm, which can produce rain and possibly even excessive rainfall. And this is why we have our severe weather risk out here. We have a slight risk for severe weather if you're down here in parts of Oklahoma, mainly for tornadoes. So yeah, this is what the tornado risk looks like. So if you're anywhere in those colors, you can see tornadoes. You can see we've got a few tornado warnings continuing. So again, if you're anywhere inside of these colors, mainly, you guys are the ones that could see some tornadoes, isolated tornadoes or two. And then this is our wind risk, and this is our hail risk right here. The main concern for hail will be if you're in this brown. So this is our overall looking risk. So we're going to see these storms move up into here and cause maybe some severe storms around Indiana. But this thing goes from Oklahoma all the way up there into Indiana. So let's check out the future radar. So this is what it could look like a little bit later. If you fast forward, this is what it looks like once it starts getting into Illinois later today. So this is what it looks like at 4 p.m. I can see that we could have a few severe lines of storms down here. Maybe a few tornadoes will be a possibility, but this is what it should be looking like. And then it will move. Then this storm will move into parts of Indiana as well, and maybe cause some severe wind gusts there. And then we can see maybe some snow up here somewhere. And we can see a few wind gusts along the line of storms over here. This will continue moving east. It'll enter Ohio, and it should weaken rapidly as it gets into Ohio. The farther east this line goes, the weaker it gets. But this is what it looks like tomorrow on January 9th, 2026. Which is why we have another risk for tomorrow. So look at this. We have a slight risk for tomorrow on January 9th. So if you're in Louisiana and Mississippi, Alabama, it goes up from Louisiana up into northern Alabama. There's going to be a chance that we could see some tornadoes and some severe winds. So this is what our slight risk looks like. And then we got a marginal risk going around it from Texas all the way up here into western Kentucky. So let's check out our tornado risk. This is what our tornado risk looks like for tomorrow. You can see it's definitely a little bit more concerning than today. So that means if you're in this 5%, which is this brown tomorrow, this is going to be the area of concern for tornadoes. But as well as if you're in this green, there's also going to be a concern for an isolated tornado or two. The main concern will also be, guys, severe weather. So severe thunderstorms will be the main concern over here tomorrow. So let's check out the future radar for tomorrow, January 9th. So you can see right here, this is what it looks like tomorrow in the morning hours. On January 9th, we'll see some storms develop, maybe some severe thunderstorms, and maybe even possibility to see a tornado risk over here. This is what looks like in Mississippi. But yeah, we can see a few severe thunderstorms with this line tomorrow morning. And then if we fast forward it, this is what it could look like towards the morning, late morning hours. This is what it looks like at 9 a.m. Over here in northern Alabama, up into eastern Tennessee, up there into eastern Kentucky, a few severe thunderstorms possible. And then eventually this line of storms will move into parts of Georgia and Alabama, southern Alabama, and move through Atlanta. If you're in Atlanta, I don't think it will be too concerning, although a few rain showers and wind gusts are a possibility. So that will move through. Then we'll see even more storms develop out here as we get towards the night. This is going to be the main concern, I think. Definitely some nocturnal kinds of storms out here. So that means you need to be aware for nocturnal storms. So mainly if you're out here, be aware for nocturnal storms. So that means keep your alerts on your phone during the nighttime. Make sure your weather radio is working if you have one. And listen to tornado warnings and take cover if you do get a tornado warning. And then we'll see another thing go through Atlanta on January 10th, 2025 in the early morning. So that will move through Atlanta. And this could be producing gusty winds and maybe even an isolated tornado. But yeah, this is going to be pretty crazy. So we need to make sure you're staying weather aware for this, because it's about to get crazy. And this is what our marginal risk looks like for January 10th, 2025. For Saturday, you can see that we had a marginal risk going from Virginia all the way down there into New Orleans and Mobile. This is going to be a marginal risk for Atlanta, Montgomery, Mobile, Birmingham, Huntsville, Charlotte, and just north of Columbia. So also includes Atlanta. So this is our marginal risk for January 10th. So there's going to be a possibility for scattered to severe weather and a low chance to see an isolated tornado or two, but it's definitely going to be a possibility. This is also going to lead to some excessive rainfall. So that means if you're in this yellow, there's going to be a pretty high chance for excessive rainfall. And if you're in this green, there's going to be a chance for excessive rainfall as well. So this can lead to flooding and stuff like that. So turn around, don't drive encountering flooded roadways. And then if we go to January 10th, 2025, you can see that we got another excessive rainfall outlook. And then for today, this is what our excessive rainfall outlooks are looking like. So if you're down there in Mississippi, parts of Louisiana, we can see some excessive rainfall down there. If you're up here in parts of Kansas, up there into Missouri, you can see some excessive rainfall. If you're up there near Chicago and in northern Indiana, you can see some excessive rainfall. Turn around, don't drive when encountering flooded roadways. And flooding is going to be a possibility, so make sure to stay aware for that. The reason this is all happening is because of our moisture being pulled up from the Gulf of Mexico, and that's gonna go up into the Ohio Valley and cause a lot of moisture over here, Mississippi Valley and Ohio Valley. And that's gonna cause a lot of moisture. We're gonna have a sharp cold front. We're gonna have warm air in front of it, and then the bottle zone is gonna be in the middle. And then after the cold front passes, it's going to get cold pretty fast for a lot of you guys. And then the whole United States will start getting colder. See, this is what our temperature anomaly is looking like. So you can see, you can definitely see some of that cold air coming in. And a lot of you guys in the United States will be feeling the cold air come in. So, yeah. But make sure to pay attention to these storms before this happens. But if we go over there towards January 16th, look at this possible cold air that could actually come down. But that's far into the future. We don't know if that's going to happen, but it's definitely likely. So January 16th, there's likely going to be some cold air coming down. So, yeah, there's already going to be some cold air coming in. So this warm air definitely probably confused you, but the cold air is coming in soon, and this is not permanent. So just make sure to be staying aware for the severe weather before it gets cold. Make sure to stay prepared for these severe thunderstorms if you're out here. Anywhere inside of the affected areas, make sure to stay prepared, stay weather aware, have alerts on your phone, and take cover if you have a tornado warning. Stay away from windows if you get in a severe thunderstorm warning, and recommendation is to get to low floor if you get a severe thunderstorm warning. If you're in a special weather statement, recommendation is to get indoors. Be aware for flooding as well. I'll see you guys in the next weather video. Bye.